Welcome to West Mids 2026, round 5, Gates in Honeybourne, Heat 1, Race 1. Like and subscribe. Belt was slipping off the start there, so the engine revs are up. Wasn't really going anywhere. But came out to the first corner third behind Rob and I think Harry, first time out on number 11 grass holes. Behind me, can't quite see at the minute. But the track here, mostly just in the grass field next to the pub in Honeybourne. Nice track to be at. A few ripples across the field which I'll talk through as we go on. Coming out in third, first race of the day, settling into it. Nice grass surface so far, it does dig up later in the weekend. Come around behind Dan, so like Harry, holding third. They are getting away from me slightly, and I think on the next lap they'll speed up a little bit. Apologies for the blurriness on the camera lens. The Insta360 has a little cover on the lens, and I think I've got a little bit of Vaseline trying to get the dust out, but yeah, dust is getting in the way and dust is sticking to the Vaseline. Almost kept up with Harry there in the corner as he spun out wide, but not enough to get past him. Okay, fast forwarding now to the rest of the race. We stay in third. There's Geraint 31, pulled over the DNF unfortunately, and then fast forward into the end of the race where we come over the line for a nice solid third. Good start to the day. Heat 6, race 2 for us. You watch that yellow bush just in the forward distance there. No fault of Chris to the left of me, but his wheels get airborne and I don't have any other course of action to take out that yellow bush, so we run into it. In which case I do have to back off. He's got probably a slightly better view down the start straight than me. Ooh, he's airborne and poof, straight into that. Managed to just get off the throttle in time to avoid getting into the rest of the hedge, but unfortunately come out for the race 5th. Got race number 111 just ahead of me. Ahead of that is Rob, Gareth, and then Chris out in front on number 5. Good start to the race, however. Keeping up with Chris, and the rest of them is good. Vish just ahead of me, settling into a nice steady race. Just trying to get the inside of the Vish there. They're just trying to change up those lines into tight corners to see if I can get on the opposite side of him going down the small straight. Didn't quite make it. And then top corner there, a bit of corrugation as you come across those. You didn't get it quite right. The first one sent you straight into the face. The second one, so you had to time it nicely. Long straight here, down the right hand side, best line. There's a few bumps on the inside which we can talk about later on. Closing up on Reese with the others getting away from us slightly, but me and Reese together in a good battle. Yep, the inside of Reese, trying that, he's slightly wide. I've got the inside line, stick it down the inside. Nice, good clean pass there. Fast forward a little bit because it takes me quite a while now to catch up to the back of the others. When I do eventually catch up, got Rob and Gareth ahead in the tight battle, and they've been stuck in that tight battle for the entire race. Chris slightly gapped out to the front there, number 5, so I'm not really going to catch him throughout the race. So I settle in now behind these two. Rob's clearly slightly a little bit faster than Gareth, but Gareth is doing a great job of holding him up. Put behind him there. Yeah, Rob's trying different lines as well on the Moe there. He's going really quick on that Moe this year. I go slightly wide, lose all that time that I made up, and then it takes me another few laps to catch up to them. So fast forward through, and then eventually catch the back up of Rob as they're still going. Really pleased that I managed to catch up. Both of these guys are faster than me, been doing a lot longer than me, and this is only my 2nd year of doing it, so really happy to be up behind them in the battle. Rob goes in really quick there, sends it quite deep, goes out really wide onto the loose stuff, so this is my chance. Sneak up on the left hand side, take the racing line. He probably had to back out there slightly, thanks so much because I was on the line, and then up behind Gareth. So really pleased now, up into 3rd, happy to be in a situation between 2 guys that are way faster than me. Tight line. Gareth's been doing this all race long with Rob behind him, so he's going to keep it nice and smooth. Really happy to be here. I'm also keeping it nice and smooth, so I know Rob will be right behind me as well, trying to get that place back, and then come over the line just in time to take another 3rd. Happy with that. Shook Gareth's hand there. He was a little bit surprised it was me behind him and not Rob. But happy, good solid result. On to the next race now, Heat 9, Race 3. Apologies, there's a slight false start by, I'm not sure, it may well have been me, sorry Kev for that score. Equally, Kev got caught on the leg as the bungee stretched forward, so yeah, a little telling off, sorry. Okay, yeah, lined up next to Rob and I think Dennis just on the right hand side of me. Dennis, always a good starter. Old Fart's cart, really good starter, and he rides a really good line around all the corners. Rob comes up the inside of me, that Murray corners really well, carries the speed really well ahead. Getting over the congregation, I was up and down the field, up into this tight left-hander. It's a nice tight right-hander, small straight here which you could get by. Tight right, and then there's a final turn, left-hand sweeping turn out onto the straight. Past the start-finish line. Now it's slightly wide there, caught probably a little bump on the way out, and then down here. Good battle throughout this race. I think we've gapped person in 4th. Might come back around to see them possibly pushing. Can't quite remember who is it in the race. Bumpy going across there, just hit that slightly wrong, and then speeding up. Spend the rest of the race kind of stuck in that kind of no man's land. Rob's got past Dennis now, and then just me and Dennis for 2nd and 3rd. But you can't get past Dennis that easily. Dennis drives a nice smooth race, hits all the markers, hits all the braking, very rarely makes a mistake, very smooth, very hard to get by, and unfortunately I don't make it through on this race. So a couple of laps now spent behind Dennis towards the end, but really happy. Even to be up with Dennis and racing with Dennis just shows that over the last 6 months or so how much we've improved. Yeah, really happy with how my mower's going in the minute. Up behind Dennis, trying to switch out those lines, going wide, see if I can cut back in a little bit tighter. I think I might hit a post there, apologies to Kev. And then following Dennis down into the final turns. Yellow flag out there, can't quite see who that was for, but obviously we no overtaking and caution whilst under the yellow flag. Down straight, Dennis gapping me slightly as we go down the straight. Big sweeping left-hander that got really rough on day 2, but for day 1 still holding a decent line. Cross those bumps there, holding a bit of good speed, closing up on Dennis now. Again trying the outside line, trying to cut in a bit tighter. He's really smooth, hits the apex of the turn each time. Really hard to get by. Trying to go out wide to carry just a bit more speed around this final corner and then into the straight. Kev's there ready with the flag, so it's probably the last lap now. Trying my hardest to close up on Dennis. Haven't got the legs on him down that straight. No chance Dennis is going to make a mistake now on this final lap. Looks like he got a bit of tape there. Always nice and smooth. Into the final turn. No mistakes. Yeah, flag out. Happy with that. Another 3rd place. Good finish. Okay, lined up now to Emir on the left, Callum on the right, 82. Good start. Callum's just to my right. Really happy with the start. Happy to be out in front on the start. First time for the day, first time for a while actually, get the mower in front. Callum goes up the inside, tries to get through on the inside, but I know I've got the inside for this turn. And then carry a bit more speed around. He hits that bump straight on, so it causes quite a lot of impact for him, slows him down. And I get the run into this tight left-hander. Happy with that. Callum's behind me now. I've got the camera looking behind because I know Callum's going to be pushing hard. Not a lot to see out in front, unfortunately, with me leading the race for this bit. Unfortunately, it doesn't stay that way. Down the straight, looking behind. I know Callum's going to be there. Just trying to keep the nice tight line wide into this smooth corner, keeping it smooth. It's a bit bumpy, trying to find the smoothest line. Right-hander. You can see I've just gapped Callum a small amount at the moment in time. He closes right up, and unfortunately on this next right-hander, I catch a rut, tip up to the right-hand side, have to back out on the throttle and going wide. Callum doesn't need a second invite. He goes up the inside of me and then takes the lead. Mower he's on this year, Jeff. Last year that was the mower that we started to run as we entered into this lawnmower racing for the first time. Got to the end of last year and just wanted to move on to a wheel horse and pass that mower on to Callum and Rick, and Callum's going really well on it this year. Whilst we're trying out the wheel horse. Fortunately, now just settling behind Callum, and this is we have a really good race, but this is how it stays to the end of the race. I'm probably going to pick up and fast forward it. Surely, it's not good losing to the mower that you were on last year, but he's going really well this year on that. Just trying to keep it nice and clean. Running a Honda V-twin 18 horsepower in that engine, in that car, in the mower, and he's having a great time with that. It's a really smooth engine. Thing's built like a tank, and that engine just makes it go really nicely. We're on the wheel horse this year, just a 16 horsepower single wheel horse with the Alonson engine. Yeah, plenty of power for these light wheel horse chassis. Yeah, stick with him, and that's pretty much where it sticks for the rest of the race. Gaps are slightly coming behind Rick. That's Rick there on his on new build, just struggling slightly to find an engine that gets that to run nicely. When it does go nicely, he is up with us. Yeah, and then just stuck behind Callum now, just he's gapping us slightly, can't quite get back to him as we come up to the end of the race. But happy with the second, good result. Now to heat 19, race 5 for us, and apologies to Kev, another jump start, catches the inside of his leg with a tape again this time, and he does need a ball. Apologies. We also have to go in and make sure all the posts now are hammered in to make sure they're good for the rest of the day. Using that bungee we use at West Mids for the starts. Doesn't hang around this time, doesn't want to be in the way of it, he'll get away. Chris on the inside of me again, doesn't push me into the hedge this time, but again gets a nice clean start. I'll split the screen because Chris gets away out in first, and we've got Mick behind us, number 73. We can have a really good race, start to finish for this. You can watch Chris just gapping us out in front, and then I'm just going to talk between myself and Mick. Almost had a quick look at Chris there, but he's much faster than me. That mower, brand new mower for this year, number 5, going really well. And he'll start to gap us now as the race goes on. But I know all the fast guys are going to be behind me, so it takes a lap or two. I stick with Chris actually, so I'm just speeding up now. But as you can see, he's gapped us now, and then Mick has managed to close back up. I think he's really quick compared in the middle section of the course. There's a few tight turns. He's on a short wheelbase wheel horse. Ours is a long wheelbase, so he tends to turn a little bit quicker. Onto the straight, keeping it pinned side to the mower. No mechanical sympathy in this instance, but you can see Mick just starting to show us on the inside a wheel. Holding my line. And I'm just trying to keep it as smooth as possible and make sure I hit those apexes. Try and make it as wide as we can, just to stop Mick coming by. He's trying to switch up the lines, just trying to get that drive out to see if he can come out with a bit more speed. Again, hold him off, but he's turning a little bit tighter on that short wheelbase, carrying a bit more speed, but now I've got the inside for the next turn. Again, he's switching lines, trying to carry a bit more speed. Almost does, show me down the inside. Almost comes alongside, but then I've got the inside for the next turn. So yeah, Mick and that mower definitely faster than I am. So I know I just have to make it as wide as we can into these turns. Try to keep it smooth. It's this tight left-hander. Made a mistake there last time. He tried to come on the inside, so making sure I hit the corner nice and clean. Not giving him that opportunity. And keeping it nice and smooth. Over that bump, try not to carry too much speed into the next one, and then get on the power nice and early onto the straight. Coming out wide, turning in. Over that car gauge in there, big bump halfway through. Mick really thrown into that corner, but unfortunately not quite close enough to challenge. Again, getting on the power early for the straight. Keep it absolutely pinned this time. Small gap opening up, but I know I can't relax. Slightest mistake and I know Mick will be through. Got Chris ahead of us, not dropping off too much, considering how much quicker he is, and then over the line. Second, and keeping Mick at bay for that was a really good result. Happy. Heat 22 now, race 6. Not a great race for me this one. I'm going to fast forward through a lot of it. There was only one highlight. Which talk about halfway through. Chris and I think Dan there getting a really good start, just tapping wheels as they turn into that first turn, and they're getting away from me. And then Dan also comes through on another Dan on the 17. See Rob to the left, he's going to be really quick. He's probably going to be, I'm holding him up if anything, and he's going to be really keen to get past me. So we stay there for a few laps. I managed to hold Rob up probably. He should be coming past me quite quickly. I think I make a mistake there, go wide, and then Rob to sneak through. And I'm following these guys for a few laps, but happy that the fact that I'm not dropping off the back too much. Managed to stay with them. I can still see Chris and Dan just on number 11, just ahead of us. So I'm not getting dropped, which is sometimes happen in these races. Just see Rob went slightly wide on that turn there, so I managed to sneak by. And then I close back up on number Dan 17. And I'm just going to slow it down. I think I get a good round this turn, and I think, yes, I've got the speed over Dan. I'm going to come slightly to the left. I've got down the left hand side. Boom! Big lump there. Almost sent me off the mower. Couldn't control the brakes, couldn't control the steering, and unfortunately went wide. Just let Rob and Dan come back straight back through. And that's where the race pretty much stays. I stay in 5th, and then unfortunately the chain comes off with about 2 or 3 laps. Heat 27 now, race 7 for us. Amir to the left. Number 11, not quite sure if it's Dan or Harry on it this time. I think that's Harry. He gets a good jump again on a short wheelbase wheel horse. And we slot into 2nd. I'm really happy that we're managing to stick with these guys, showing good pace this weekend. Switch behind, got Mike number 78 behind us on an MTD. Went really well this weekend on that. A bit of a novel build. But really quick when he gets going, really stable in the turns. You can see he's already pressuring me in some of the awkward turns where he can just carry speed really nicely. Again, just keeping my line smooth, trying to keep it clean, try not to hit the bumps too hard where it upsets the mower. You can't quite get braked or turned into the next set of series of corners. Come in there nice and tight. Small gap to Mike at the minute, but I think he's going to come back to me later in the race and then settle in trying to catch Harry ahead of me. Yeah, so really happy to be on the back of Harry and stay there for a few laps. I think I do sneak by him on one of these turns, briefly hold the lead. Just there. He went a little bit wide and I managed to get a little squirt down that straight and take the lead. So really happy to be in that position and hold it now, but I think I'll go slightly wide in this turn. Yeah, and him on that short wheelbase, they just turn slightly better and comes back up the inside. We slot back into first and second. Mia there on a new mower build for this year. For a new build, a few teething problems, but starting to pick up quite nicely in that. But then unfortunately Harry pulls off. With about one lap to go, I think it is. We'll count those down. Which leaves me out in front. There's Mike just on the other side of the track there, so I know I've got a good lead over Mike, number 78. Carry around just a few nice clear laps now. Not a lot going on, just trying to make sure I stay nice and smooth. Not flustered. Come on with the first win of the day. Really happy. Great result. Unfortunately, I also did get another win in the next heat, but the dead battery forgot to record it, so this is the last race of the day. Got Dennis out in front. Tom on the other 17 mower, Mike on the 78 on the inside going really well, and Mick on the 73 just behind. I'm going to play a lot of this video. This is a really good scrap. Don't necessarily come out in the best place overall, but a really good scrap throughout. Mick trying to get by from behind, Mike in front, Tom, and then Dennis out in front. Again, Dennis keeping it really smooth, probably doing me a little bit of a favour here, making sure that everyone stays together, Constantine's up a little bit. Mike in front going really well on the MTD. Goes to the inside line there, so I'm thinking, okay, if he hits those bumps, I'm through. I think he did, so he had to back out slightly to hit those bumps. And I come back up on the inside. Holding the inside. Into the next turn, hopefully got pass done on Mike now. I know he's going to try and come back though, because like I said, that MTD is quick in the turns. Yeah, just on the just coming into the straight there. He was the inside of me, just lacking a bit of speed and just gapping slightly going down the straight. Then Mick comes through, goes on the inside of Mike, tries to show me the inside. Well, then I've got the inside for the next turn. Quick little throttle. And I come out just ahead, holding just ahead of Mick. And Mick and Mike still battling slightly. I think Mick's got that move done now. Looking forward. Still Dennis and Tom ahead. They are starting to gap me though, so I'm probably not going to be able to quite stick with them now for the rest of the race. But I'm probably expecting Mick to come through on Mike at some point. So I know again Mick behind me is going to be a really big challenge from behind me during the rest of this race. Oh, but unfortunately just see him there just pulling off and slowing down. Yeah. I think it was a chain issue that unfortunately came off in that turn. So I probably don't know at this moment in time that he's pulled off. I've left me a reasonable gap now back to Mike. You can see that. Probably wondering to myself where Mick's gone. Looking ahead. Still got Tom and Dennis ahead. Dennis doing really well at the front. Yeah, see the yellow flag. And come around the corner and just see Mick off the side of the track. Give him a wave. And then we stay in those positions now for the rest of the race. I'm on the back of Tom and Dennis, but just can't quite seem to find a way through. But again, really happy to be in a position where we're battling with guys that have been much more experienced and much faster than us over the last couple of months. So really good position for us to be in. Yeah, Dennis really smooth at the front, just not letting Tom by. Tell Tom was getting a bit frustrated again, trying to change up the lines, but not quite able to make it through. And there we are, end of day one. Really happy. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll get on to the next video as soon as I can. Bye for now.
Oh,